add salt into the wounds. Like, I would say Lolita, yeah, great to actually fend off some of all these enemies for a little while, but how much can they possibly take to actually defend that Kimmy? Because Kimmy, well, it really does take a really huge leap for Evos to actually go in with those jungle raids and forcing all these enemies from RRQ to actually force a fight unwillingly. Then maybe they might just get a few of that sort of pickups in that sort of sense.
I suppose. I don't know. I feel, oh man, this is a really weird draft because both sides are trying to go up and beyond. This is like, hey, I know what some of the picks that you prioritize. And our RQ is just like, but wait, I also know what you prioritize. They're trying to play this game of cat and mouse where one is trying to top the other every single time. I feel like they're getting a little bit into their heads a little too much, to the point where it's like they're losing sight of what they want as priority picks. And thus, both really interesting compositions have come out, but it looks like games are getting set up, they're getting ready, so sit tight, guys. This next upcoming game is going to be a particularly interesting one.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to see how that Gusion will combo alongside with Chill, because if both of them work together, that could be a really great pick-off to actually shut down any single unit inside of the game. Now, have another look as we have this perfect picture of display of all your favorite players looking to win the M1 World Championship.
Yeah, both of these guys are top competitors, and again, this is so different from you know, the MPL Indonesian finals. It has changed up so much. Like, Evos was able to get ahead of them in the upper bracket as well, but now they're on the back foot.
Well, they definitely gotta march up ahead, and now, speaking of that, we're going to Game 4, RRQ versus Evos.
Oh boy, let's see how greedy this comp is going to be, because number one, RRQ have the better early game. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Badang's going to the mid side. It looks like Liam is going up top side to kind of clear that wave really quickly.
Well, I do think that they would be able to actually do so if they really want to actually focus on that, but well, RRQ, they are making sure that this buff is well secured, but here comes the invade coming from Luminaire as well as one. Oh my, that attempt was definitely failing, but I'm not sure. Luminaire now might just get caught out.
Oh, looks like they want to keep control over this bottom side. They want to actually take the trade. They get the stun onto Vin, but they have to move back. The auto alarm bombs are proving to be a little difficult to deal with, and they chunk 2/3 of the HP of the turret down so quickly. They're going to miss out a wave down mid side, but the jungle is wide open for the taking for RRQ, but they don't even care about that. They want to just stop the game plan of Evos Legends.
Well, Evos Legends have a plan of their own as well. Don't count it off just yet. Now, a couple more seconds before we see a little bit of that contention up and towards the top side of the river. Well, Donkey here, we're going for a little bit of those movements by the bush, hoping to actually catch a little bit of that Fender Bender coming in from the side of Liam, actually trying to actually swing his arms to secure that buff, but it's already being secured by the Gusion right there. Sin trying to actually call in for a little bit of a backup from the rest of the members of RRQ, but a little bit of stalemate for now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen for now. 4 members on the bottom side of the map. They kind of want to relieve pressure there. Ooh, Turtle. Sorry. River Crab has to be taken away by Sin, who has the Retribution. Luminaire is taking quite a bit of damage from the auto alarm bombs, but you got to remember that Vin will be able to disengage the entire team from a Numenor Blast just with a time journey.
Well, I definitely didn't see this Diggy pick to actually be played out in this game 4 here, because I thought there will be possibly another sort of pick which is left out on the table. Like, might just be like those huge bursty mages. Well, heading into this sort of the wall chart that's being pulled out by Leo, there will be inconsistent being popped out. The Turu opens up the freeze crack here, just trying to get that Gusion back into its where he belongs, inside of that jungle. But here comes Rek, might just be pulled back, immediately dashes off away. Here comes Luminaire joining in, trying to actually push the way forward. And whoa, that's gonna be a win, just hoping to actually go in for a little bit of that regroup. But as of now, nobody wants to fall for first blood.
Yeah, they have to take their time. Don't get pressured off here. Evos Legends taking the first initial invade. Sin taking quite a bit of damage here, gets kicked back, he's in trouble. He needs to pop the Salmon Force real soon, but he doesn't have it. The rest of the team comes in turn. Last Insanity actually get that first blood. Well done, but one HP away. Double kill on the side of Evos Legends. Aura is just so large, but the Grok Liam is able to help pick up one to even the score.
And this is the lead that they have been looking for. Aura will be able to regain his shield in a little bit more, but he's dropping really low. Here comes Aura recommitting into that. And here comes Finn coming back online. Gets the pull up. And by Donkey still getting himself alive under the turret.
Yeah, he can't walk up anymore. Great play. I think they kind of forgot that Diggy has a passive that allows him not to spawn at base, but wherever he pleases as long as he runs towards that direction. Really unfortunate there as Evos Legends end up overextending in a fight that was looking so good for them.
Rex-Riga and Keon still have the goal upon their favor. Well, I like the sort of movements that they actually force Evos to places that they don't want to be, and this is one good example of Evo trading back here, bursting down Sin, putting in 0 and 2. Now, this is the first time that we're seeing Sin actually losing out, but here comes Aura with the last instead of being popped, and here comes Time Journey as well, popping off to the side of Finn. Donkey flicker in, kicks in, what's away on the dragon!
Donkey, stop it! Stop it, man! We know you're good! Oh my goodness, that was such a good flicker. He knew exactly what he was doing. Backline is now in trouble, but now gets cancelled out. Luminaire makes sure he uses that charge to just stop that initial fist crack.
Donkey already facing off against Lemon, but he might just want to go in for that fight as well. 2 versus 1 is not that situation that he wants to be in because they're still Diggy forcing him backwards. Donkey will have to lose the turret over the bottom side, but there will be a trade coming from Evos Legends on the top lane as well.
Evos Legends right now, their game plan, they wanted to play the early game a little bit better, and especially when you see Kimmy take that Mage Slayer, they want to go for these objectives, but right now RRQ have the tempo, have the goal lead, they're taking whatever objective they want, and you know, Evos is just a little bit behind in terms of that objective game. Well,
looking at the objective slowly stolen away, it's just having so much space for Riem to just walk around without any care of the world. Here comes Donkey here with the Weight of Dragon, and the Chow will be getting that 1 kill off as they punish that Harif. And I talked about how they could easily just lock down onto one unit. That's what Donkey is doing. Aura forcing Outlast Insanity, but here comes the chase coming from Donkey. Not really landing all of those knockups for the time being, as there's only that Grok here. And well, Evos Legends still having the kill lead.
Yeah, really pixel perfect play coming in. I mean, Juan, he goes in, tries to land the sword spike, but the problem is that, you know, Liam is, his character model is gigantic. Like, it's hard to land the sword spike, so he uses the Candescence to get right in front of his face, ensuring Sin's death. But man, that could have gone bad very, very soon.
Yeah, it could have gone wrong, but they did make it work and some reasons, but, well, I gotta say, that's one big side for Juan, as Juan has not really secured a finishing blow onto any one of these Rex-Riga Kami Embers, but here comes Donkey with the Weight of Dragon. Juan's gonna be committing in as well. That will be Time Journey being opened up, and the Padam turns this fight, takes out both of these assassinators, and they are the ones getting depleted.
Oh! Aura makes it away with 1 HP. My goodness, that was close.
The rival is what they needed at that point in time, and they will arrive back to the base safely. RRQ taking both the turtle as well as the tower, and now they're setting things straight. They want to settle the score. They want to prove themselves as the real champs. And, well, Meteor Shower being opened up onto Aura as one goes in.
He doesn't go in. He kind of had an idea that maybe, just maybe, somebody was in that brush, even though he had to waste the Candescence, and he landed the sword spike. I mean, it was looking pretty good, and I'm sure he would have killed, but again, it isn't worth dying now.
Definitely never worth to fall out just for a play. Now, here comes Vin, just trying to actually get Donkey set back for a little bit more. Let's go to the next objective, 7.5 minutes, and that Harif may not be the best performing one in this matchup, but Liam here pulling it all the way back. And now chasing Donkey away. They're going to be opening up the bottom side as well. How Rex-Riga actually plays out all these waves were just a baffle definite masterclass for everyone to watch.
Absolutely. They're doing a great job, but remember, they're only 4K ahead, and both teams play pretty optimally still during that 4K. It's when it starts breaking the 4K lead to like maybe even 5K. In this case, they're still relatively close, but not just there. Donkey's in trouble. He takes quite a bit of damage here. Luminaire isn't able to protect him with the Guardian's Bulwark. He goes down. This is a good pick. But remember, the timing is still there. They can't go for any objectives. They can't dive. And Lord is only spawning in 25 seconds, while Donkey should be back up in about 12.
RRQ already evening things out in terms of kill, and Liam getting shredded by Aura. Drew securing that buff, and now RRQ is trying to find a way to actually crash upon the top lane, and it's only going to be one Lolita defending, which means this is a free pass for them to secure the top lane tower.
Yep, and remember that 5K is getting very, very close. Donkey getting chucked out again by that meteor shower. He's so close. He's lost pretty much all of his HP. He has to back away, and now Lord is back up. Sin has the concentrated energy. Aura is in trouble, has to use the last insanity to get on out of there, which is going to be a big plus side. But can RRQ burst away this Lord without using their ultimates?
Well, Oswego using ultimates right here. They are trying to get as much damage out from being done. And Fizzcrack has already been brought up by Donkey. Donkey jumping right in, and that might just be a steal, but instead, Rex and Kel will secure it in the back. 500 being popped out as well. Been trying to go in for a chase as well. And Liam all the way in the front line here, looking for Donkey. Down the front, they popped out as well. Meteor Shower coming in. Mark's not coming from the back, but it won't be too much as we see Luria dropping out. All right, going last insanity. Here comes Evos members trying to find a way to reach out towards Liam as well. But here comes no kill. Why would it inconsistent? Here goes Maxwell charge as well. Oh my goodness me. 3 kills in the bag for Evos Legends.
Oh my goodness, that was such a good save from Aura. Aura disengaged from the fight. He's like, you know what, I'm going to go for the back line. Our front line can't handle this. They ended up losing 2 members, but in that fight alone, they chunked them out just low enough to get to the back line, making this Lord push not as effective as it should be. Last Insanity to clear out the way, but they need to make sure Lord dies this time round without losing a single member. Meteor Shower does pull through, but Evos Legends, great defense coming into this.
They understood what they needed to do, and that was what the play was meant for. Aura 2 times. Last Insanity was the saving grace where they managed to beat Retrigium Keons there, bursting them off. And of course they were extending to actually try to annihilate all these members of Evil Legends, but how could they possibly push any further with the likes of the export still alive, and they did not have any clue where he was?
Yeah, oh, that was really, really unfortunate. I mean, RRQ definitely wanted to get a little bit more out of that, but Evos just bought themselves some time to kind of even up the score. RRQ have one more opportunity, and that's when it's nearing that 40K mark. Lord should be getting close to spawning by then, and that's going to be the opportunity, because then they're going to hit their next power spike, and Evos will just be a little bit behind.
Evos finding the lair, sort of a long-term plan coming into effect with Donkey, just easily moving across Diggy, as squishy as it is. He still managed to actually find a way to keep himself safe at most of all these team fights. Now, trying to actually go in for the reverse time. Luminaire's gonna block in every single shot of that meteor shower.
Yeah, he's going to make sure he protects his team. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that earlier when Grant kind of pucked him out. Oh no, Donkey, he's in trouble. Triple isn't going to be enough. Luminaire, he's going to flicker. He captures 3 people. Liam is going to be there in the front line. He had that power of nature to protect himself. Great catch from RRQ, but can they capitalize on this?
Well, I do think that they could capitalize on losing that flicker from Luminaire. So RRQ wants to make sure that they open up this meteor shower. Will be blocked by Luminaire, being pulled back at the same time. And now RQ will be focusing on towards the mid lane, and one goes in for that fallback. Tsuru almost getting bursted down. Instead, there's not any commitment to take down the Badang.
Oh my god, that was close. One having to expend the Candesis to get over the Grok wall there. Nicely done.
1 more minute to the next Lord. Thunderbelt being fought by Lemon. So far, he's playing extremely safe.
Yeah, the Guardian's barrier just locking up, making sure they can't get into, you know, choke points. But Evos Esports just looking for an opportunity. Donkey, he doesn't mind going down, to be honest. His death timer isn't like a minute long. So him dying at, you know, before the Lord spawns would be terrible. but he has to be super careful now.
Well, it's rather to be safe than sorry, as we see Donkey dancing around, of course showing off his martial arts. It's just Finn as well as Sin already trying to secure this sort of buff. One great attempt coming from the Kimi at the same time. Well, it's just gonna take a little bit of that commitment. The time journey being popped there, Finn walks back to safety. Lemon opening up that meteor shower. So
Lord,
more and more defensive
soon.
items coming online for RQ and Evos Esports.
Yeah, they can't seem to walk out of their base. They can't afford to lose members at this point in time. Lord is back up. They know what their priority is. Xborg went back to reset, and now Liam buying time. They have to kind of expand their abilities to chunk out Lord.
We're looking at Finn here, losing out too much, so he will need to retreat for time being. Lord has already been falling out flat. RRQ gets this Lord, and now it's time for him to shine and force this right through. And now great guard is barrier here coming from Liam, and he will easily just dash away. But can Evos Legends pull off another defense to negate that Lord from crashing in?
Oh boy, this is gonna be a tough one. And again, remember when I said the 40K mark? Our RQ is 45K ahead compared to Evos Legends, which is a total of 8K gold deficit for the side of Evos Legends. They are trying to pick up their whatever farm they can actually to kind of at least even out with their final items onto like Juan or maybe even Aura as well. And Rex buys his Genius Wand. Now can they actually pull through?
Well, it's only time for Evos Legends to prove everyone wrong. Well, Evos almost getting pulled back here, having Donkey going in for a little bit of setup here, but stalling a little bit of time. Last insanity already being utilized, and the Lord crashes right through, and the Lord will be destroyed. Finn almost getting popped up as well at the same time over the top side. We have the DOS over onto her Sin, but does not connect just by the edge. Donkey just strafing through, and they are just having a little bit of that battle bruise after the Lord marches in. And here comes RQ going in for round two as well. Down on foot in towards the time journey, and they will go out of a reset. Sin!
He makes it through. Great use of the Winter Trudge, protects himself from the callback of the Shadowblade Slaughter. He was so close to dying there. Juan trying to pull off the same thing, but the auto alarm bombs secure his death. Donkey is still running around. He's in trouble. He's forced to flicker. Topside is being defended. They need to hold on to their reins.
Now, just holding on for a long time here. And now, Aura going in over the last insanity. They open up the inhibitor tower, and where we go, Sid goes in, tries to take down a little bit. There is the shield, and they will buy enough time. Evos Legends, they've already been opened up. Meteor Shower will bring down that immortality. Aura still surviving, but Donkey here could not do all too much. They lose out the top side tower, and now this base is being wrecked, and Evos Legends have nothing else left to defend but the crystal.
8 to 8 kills for both sides. RRQ 53 ahead, at least 10K ahead of Evos Legends here. This is a tough game.
We're looking at Rex, Rick'em, Keon having great power to actually just control the entirety of the mid lane. Donkey just making sure that the waste gets depleted, but Liam may not have all too much damage to actually go blow for blow, but the rest of all these guys of Evos here, we'll need to find something out.
This is such a scary situation. Like, I'm feeling the pressure that Evos Legends are pulling. They don't want to play anything too flashy. Like Donkey, he's trying his best, but again, he maybe find a catch here. Oh, he does! They're going straight in, right to the backline, but the Salmon Force might be in. They've cut them off. Sid is in trouble. He has the Winter Touch to protect himself, and now Liam already coming through with the Guardian's Barons to cut off, but Luminaire is just done for. He goes down. The rest of the team has to pull back.
And pull back they will. There is still the Chow from the back. They've already utilized a lot of ultimates, and here comes Meteor Shower number 2. And Donkey being brought down to 60%. That's going to be Liam already soaking in. Here comes the fast track, and they will crash right in, trying to take down the rest of the members of Evos Legends as they deplete them, trying to go in for the wipeout as well. Triple kill for Sin, and they do not care at all. They are on that point. RRQ, what are they? Are they gods? Are they titans? Or are they the Legends, the first one to take this one away? They're just one step from securing the M1 World Championship.
Oh my goodness, the crowd, the fans are rejoicing. They just need one more game to secure their spot in this best of 7 as the crowned champions of M1.
The Indonesians have so much to be happy about, but more so if RRQ exact their vengeance because they had a rough run into the MPL.
Yeah, that would be just so sweet for them if, you know, after losing in the upper bracket as well as the MPL, that they take the M1 and hold it above their heads. Ooh, that's going to be a great story to tell. But right now, Evos is kind of in the rut here because they can't seem to get that lead like they did in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I would say RRQ on that blue side is looked to be some of the best teams to actually pull off some interesting strategies coming into the picture, and we now see why that Badang was brought in. And that definitely gave a lot of problems for them to actually find a way to actually cut across to actually reach out to the Chang'e.
Yeah, it's just a tough game overall, but let's look at the stats here to get some better insight because for the most part, RRQ were in the lead in basically everything. They were able to get a lot of damage down, and even the AoE from the export, no matter how hard he tries, yes, he does a lot of true damage, yes, he's able to do a lot of AoE, but that isn't enough when you're comparing to someone like a Harith who chunks him down, like the Chang'e who has done 73K worth of damage. That is ridiculous.
That's like double of what the Gushin just did. Well, this definitely speaks volume itself, but now can the Tigers of Southeast Asia here come back and come on swinging with a reverse sweep to bring this game forward and try to take on RRQ once again to stop them from touching that crown?
I honestly don't know. This is a back and forth, honestly, and it feels like Evos are losing this war of attrition every single game. They are looking a little bit worse than the first, and I think they are. The fatigue is starting to get to them, and that's the beauty. I mean, it isn't really the beauty. It's just one of the conditions you have to play in the best of 7. These games are long, and after every 2 games, there usually is a break for these teams to kind of recuperate themselves. But even then, it's still an exhausting feat.
Yes, and they don't really have all too much time left. It's now or never for Evos Legends. And let's have a look. This is our man of the match. Lemon here going in with Chang'e, not falling a single time. KDA might just be that 1.1, but hey, you can be the one walking as the top seed. And well, heading towards this, it seems to me that he's playing a little bit more of that sort of a supportive role in that sort of sense, but still very high damage output overall.